Yerman Burger Flippers are in a position to take this whole thing right now. If they can win 2 games against Random Gaming, they are our champions. Random Gaming has to crawl their way through 2 series against Yerman Burger Flippers, and here we are at the start of the match.
And we see something here really interesting. It's very apparent that both of these teams are familiar with what the opposing team is doing, because we actually haven't seen Random Gaming do this 2-1-2 split with 2 people top, 2 people bottom, and 1 in the center at all. But they know that Yerman is going to be leaning into this with this scoring focused composition, so they're reacting accordingly.
One thing I think is interesting is that this is actually, Jeff, how the game tells you to play it. 2 people in that top path, 1 Pokemon in that central area, and 2 Pokemon in that bottom path. And these teams are actually running this right here, but it is considered an odd strategy in our current meta.
Yeah, and this is kind of the layers you see develop in competitive games like Pokemon Unite, where players start reacting to reactions, kind of coming around in a circle as the metagame develops.
And one interesting thing we're seeing right here, we have the Dragonite from Random Gaming coming out of that central area and actually fighting here in this bottom path, which is very unusual. Most times teams have their central area Pokemon head to the top path to support. But as you said, this strategy, this is getting everything flipped on its head right now.
Yeah, Random Gaming really pushing this advantage in the bottom path here. They're able to secure a KO, which puts Blaine the Wigglytuff on the back foot, meaning they don't get to secure any of that very valuable contested B farm in the center.
Interestingly enough, we are still seeing a Sing from that Wigglytuff, one of the most powerful moves in the entire game, in my opinion. You are able to sing your opponents to sleep, but a lot of times on a composition like this, we actually do see a rollout Wiggly and a big fight happening here in the top lane. It looks like that Talonflame is going down. Can they take Lucario as well? I don't know, but they are going to get that score, and then it looks like back off.
I would just like to highlight here, while we were watching these engages, Pokemon Unite most adorable bandit for both teams went into the opposite center paths. We see Yerman's Greedent still in the center contesting this Dragonair, while Random Gaming's had done a full rotation already through.
There's so much that these teams have to react to here with these Greedents, with both teams playing what would be considered not the meta strategy of the 1 top, 1 center, 3 bottom lane Pokemon. It's just really interesting to see them have to react to all this. And I think those Greedents are going to be spending a lot of time in the enemy's center area.
Yeah, Greedent hops into its berry-shaped getaway car for both teams here and slips right on out while getting away with stealing lots of wild Pokemon and valuable experience.
So Yerman Burger Flippers, they have most of their team formed up here in this bottom path, ready for this Drednaw fight. But interestingly enough, Random Gaming has already broken their bottom goal. So they have a positional advantage here, and this fight is underway.
While Random Gaming does have a positional advantage, it's worth pointing out here that I was going to say there's a Dragonite that can secure here, but I believe that Drednaw, oh, it did go to the left side team, but with Wigglytuff securing with that Dazzling Blade.
Wow, so a lot happened there, Jeff. I mean, just so much in such little time. A secure from Yerman Burger Flippers, but Random Gaming with almost a full team KO in that bottom path.
Yeah, while there aren't burgers inside of Pokemon Unite to flip over, the one thing you're going to see Yerman's team flipping very consistently is these objectives, and that's because their team is structured in a way to give them an advantage in those flips. These are not 50-50 coin flips. It is very weighted in your favor when you have Talonflame, Ingredient, and Dragonite on your team with their powerful last-hitting potential.
I completely agree with you, except I do believe somewhere hidden in the code there are burgers. I've been told not to talk about this or they would cut me off this stream, but I will say it. I am a burger truther. They are hidden in this game somewhere, Jeff.
And exactly what we were talking about there comes in. The Talonflame with its very powerful Fly Smite jumps in, tackles that Rotom objective that Random Gaming had been trying to lock down, stealing it out from underneath them.
And look at what we have here. 210, I was about to say 204, 210 to 201. So much scoring happening for both of these teams. As you mentioned before, this is a scoring team composition. They are looking to score points, break goals, and put the enemy in a position where even if they get that Zapdos, they can still win.
Yeah, for those of you at home trying to figure out, okay, the scores are close and who's ahead here, the other measure you really want to look at on these teams are the levels. You see just a single level 10, oh, now 2 on the right for Random Gaming, while Yerman has assembled 3 level 10s and 2 level 9s at this point, giving them a solid advantage in any team fight that could possibly be cropping up here.
The interesting thing that we're seeing is, I don't know if there is much of team fights, it's just battles breaking out all over the map. We had Lucario and Wiggly going at it, fighting with this Rotom in the top lane. We have a lot of members of Yerman Burger Flippers in this bottom lane trying to take this Drednaw. Big Unite move from Talonflame and a Hyper Beam to secure it. That Dragonite Hyper Beam, just incredible at securing any objective.
Yep, Yerman showing why they are flipping these objectives. Their Dragonite seems to be second to none when it comes to these very critical secures. You get that last hit, you get all of the prizes for that objective, that valuable experience, and healing and shields in the moment.
Oh, and look at that. We actually have a score in the top lane as well from Yerman Burger Flippers, but there is that rollout Wigglytuff wearing that Sleepy Time Hollowware. I believe it is illegal, or you at least get fined for wearing that Hollowware and not using Sing, but you can see Yerman Burger Flippers absolutely dominating with it. I love a rollout Wigglytuff. It is chaotic.
We see the next objective, Rotom, coming up here in the top path. Both teams seem kind of disinterested in this objective in completely different parts, just looking to score on their own, not needing the pressure from this to get in with their quick scoring characters.
Yeah, interestingly enough, we're at the 4-minute mark of the... They're actually leaving it, Jeff. We're at the 4-minute mark of this match, and I don't think anyone really needs the pressure from that Rotom. It's not that they wouldn't like it, but they have a lot of goals they can score on, and they're planning on doing it regardless.
Yep, we see here this engage over the bottom point. We see some Unite moves popping off with those Buddy Barrier Trains. Stack that up with that Score Shield item to let you get in those points through the enemy team attacking your Pokemon.
And that was a huge moment right there. I assume that Talonflame thought they had that goal pretty much sewn up. It had its Buddy Barrier, it had its Goal Getter on, but it was not able to score there. That would have been a really big play for Random Gaming. Right now, they are still behind by a little under 100 points.
We see again from Yerman just looking at these levels. We have a level 13, we see a bunch of level 12s. We don't see any level 13s for Random Gaming. The way this game is shaping up, Random Gaming is going to be very behind if there's a large engage around the Zapdos at the end.
And that's going to be great for Yerman Burger Flippers because they're already ahead on score. But this is a huge score for Yerman Burger Flippers, breaking that top goal. They can now score in the enemy's main base once Zapdos comes up.
And this is very important because unlike the outside goals, you can put as many points as you can carry into that home base. The score composition that Yerman is playing really wants to open up that inside goal before the end game. So that way, should they lose the flip on the Zapdos, they can all simply run right into the enemy's home and dunk everything that they're carrying.
Jeff, we are at 2 minutes, 14 seconds. That means Zapdos is just about here. We have Yerman Burger Flippers getting ready around the Zapdos pit. They do have their Greedent a little ways away, but both teams are getting ready for this big fight. Random Gaming knows they need this Zapdos right now.
Yep, I'm interested to see if they are going to flip against all the lasting potential. And there's the flip, and they miss. This game is all but closed out, I have to imagine, for the Yerman side. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. 2 are down.
Yeah, we've got some KOs happening here. So Yerman Burger Flippers able to take that Zapdos, just continue their lead here. But Random Gaming getting multiple KOs, and they are running back to score themselves. It is not over. 1:30 left. While they are down by quite a bit, they could get this point lead back very quickly.
Yeah, and we see here the importance of what I highlighted a second ago for Yerman's team. Because that center point wasn't available for Random Gaming to dunk in there, they had to split their forces going to the outside points, which in Pokemon Unite, you score faster the more of your teammates are on the goal. So because they had to split their attention, they got in less points more slowly.
So right now, Random Gaming knows they're behind. There's a minute left. They just received the notification that Yerman is way ahead and Random is way behind. So the question is, what is to be done here? If they move off of their goals, they know that someone like that Greedent, like that Dragonite, can run into their base and counter score. They're in a very difficult position here, and they only have 45 seconds left to make this match right.
I love Yerman's pusher. Like, we're the score comp. What's defending? Your base is there. That is where my points go. You can dunk, but we're going to dunk too, and we'll still stay ahead this way.
Wow, 791 to 480 right now, and it looks like there isn't much of a chance for Random Gaming to come back here. They are trying their best to defend at their goal zone, but it's just not enough, and they don't have enough points to score.
Yeah, and this shows exactly that. Like, they successfully pushed off the Greedent here at the end, but they were already so far ahead. The 100 points the Greedent was capping was just going to extend that lead.
Wow, Yerman Burger Flippers scoring a few more points there. Was that the burger? Oh, I swear I saw something. I might have missed it. What a great game.
Really fantastic showing from Yerman there, doing exactly what they wanted to do. They got a lead early. They pushed that advantage into the end. They flipped the Zapdos successfully, just top to bottom. I think that's what their team goes into a match like this looking to do. Crustle is not a Pokemon you pick to take engages with, Spraggles.
Oh, not at all. It's like they've got two Greedents on their team right now. They said, no, we're not going to do less scoring. The way to win this is more scoring.
For people at home that might not be familiar with Crustle's kit, its Unite move creates this massive shield on top of it that I think the entirety of Burger Flipper's team could wail on this Crustle, and it would still dunk 50 points in overtime right in their face.
And that is what they're hoping to do with this, I am sure. Interesting seeing the Dragonites mirroring each other in that central area. You know, with a team composition like this, the secure that you get from the Dragonites Hyper Beam is really vital because they don't have amazing team fighting, team battling potential as a unit.
Yeah, and the big thing to watch for is, you know, that key objective, the Drednaw and the Rotom, they spawn at that 7-minute mark, and having your team get to that Dragonite before the opposing team gives you an incredible edge in that first engagement because it makes you more likely to secure the last hit on that objective.
And interestingly enough, even though we are in sort of the 2 top, 1 center, 2 bottom composition here, we do have both junglers heading up to the top lane, both central area Pokemon heading up to that top lane.
Yeah, and we see this 3-on-3 engage here. Crustle kind of getting caught out, but also an incredibly durable Pokemon that's tough to KO. Oh my gosh, it's going to survive, and all 3 of them get to dunk here, Spraggles.
Wow, I mean, and that just shows, like you said, the durability of Crustle, but also those boosted basic attacks hit like a truck, Jeff. It was recently buffed, and ever since then, it does a lot more damage than you expect.
You see the Talonflame here failing to secure that last hit at the Wiggly, but it does escape without getting knocked out against that very terrifying roll-up engagement.
Yeah, that rollout is just so incredibly fun. And of course, you have that Wiggly there in the bottom path for it. There are these small areas down there that it can bounce back and forth between and really cause chaos and almost take out an entire Pokemon with one move.
And again, just to call out, if anybody missed it on the mini-map there, while the top and bottom paths were playing out there, the Squirrely Bandit on each team went to the opponent's side of the map and did its best to secure last hits of those very valuable wild Pokemon in the central area.
Wow, I mean, I have to say, Jeff, it feels like Random Gaming is doing exactly what they want to do in this match right now. I'm really impressed with what's happening with this Crustle Lucario in this top path right here. They've broken the top goal. They're scoring on their secondary goal. They're taking their central area wild Pokemon. This is going extremely well for Random Gaming.
You know, I said I would be surprised if Random Gaming could lean in and beat Yerman at their own game plan, but in my brain, I had not considered the S-tier Crustle pick for this task.
I can't wait for all the tier lists to update tomorrow and put Crustle all the way at the top after watching a game like this. Ooh, really nice engagement for Yerman Burger Flippers in this bottom path. There is no one there from Random Gaming for this Drednaw. They are getting it completely secured with no one fighting back.
And we mentioned here this could happen. The first team to get their Dragonite is incredibly likely to win that engage at the bottom. And Yerman had their Dragonite while there was still just a Dragonair for Random Gaming down there quickly getting knocked out.
They are able to take that Rotom, and it pushes towards Yerman Burger Flipper's top goal right there. But as you can see, they're not trying to push that in. They're just taking the time that that gives them to run around the map, continue to level up, knocking out those wild Pokemon and getting more and more powerful. And especially with a scoring composition, getting more and more Eos energy to put in those goals.
Yeah, this is a very valuable thing I think our trainers at home can learn from these top-level players. And we see this quite frequently in these matches. Rotom, while it can crash into a goal goal and make it defenseless, it's oftentimes just used as map pressure. It's an objective you secure that then runs at the opposing team's base, and buys you time to do other things in other spots on the map.
Wow, and we just have scoring everywhere. Here we go, Dragonite breaking that top goal for Yerman Burger Flippers. And we see right now they are ahead on points while this game is still anyone's game. Something to remind everyone at home, if they win this, they win the grand finals here.
Yeah, you know, Yerman showing us that, hey, we will not be outscored. We are on an undefeated run to this location, and we are going to dunk as many points as we can before the large bird gets here in the center.
Something not unusual at all to see, Jeff. Greedon is in the enemy's central area, taking their wild Pokemon buffs and trying to score in this top goal here. Are they able to make it happen?
Well,
my goodness, they are.
Will it escape without getting knocked out? Oh, it can't keep getting away with it, Spraggles.
Here we go. The Hyper Beam finally taking that Greedon out. I feel your pain, Jeff. That's how I always feel when a Greedon is running away from my goal. I'm thinking, no, there's no way I can stop it. And now Random Gaming at Drednaw, and Yerman is nowhere to be found, probably because they were dealing with that mean Greedon.
Yeah, and again, that's just the power of this character. Even when it's kind of unsuccessful, it created a distraction and generated map pressure in a place that was opposite of the Drednaw objective, allowing Random Gaming to secure it essentially for free.
Wow, big move up there. Dragonite scores in that top path at the same time Rotom is being pushed in. It didn't even need Rotom to get pushed in, but is it also able to take this Rotom down? We will have to see if that Rotom makes it in. And no, the Unite move from Greedon right. Oh, but he peeled off the goal, so Rotom does go in.
Once you start cruising with the Greedon, there is no stopping. And if that Rotom gets an opening, it's going to push right on in there. One thing I'd really like to highlight in this match that's very strange compared to most ones we watch, we've crossed the 4-minute mark, and there is not a single level 13 Pokemon in this game.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well when I was looking at the levels a moment ago. I was thinking, wow, these teams really care about scoring and not as much about experience here. They are not focused on having massive team fights. In fact, I think every objective in this entire match has gone uncontested almost by the other team.
Yeah, and honestly, I would assume that that's an intentional choice by these players. They're choosing not to take engages. Just look at this map and look at how few yellow dots representing wild Pokemon are present. These teams know that they need to knock out as many wild Pokemon as possible to have the Aos energy that they need to score, and they are keeping the map super clear of it.
Yes, it is Pac-Man right now, and they are eating every yellow dot they can see. The more, the better, because they need to start putting that in the goals. And look at this. The main goal for both teams is open. We have the top goal broken on Random Gaming and the bottom goal broken for Yerman Burger Flippers. Both will be able to score in the main base at the 2-minute mark.
You know, Spraggles, this game could play out in a really interesting way where Zapdos is the decider, but not because it makes the goals defenseless, but instead because it gives your entire team 30 and 15 points to score with.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, the teams were actually completely even on score, but Talonflame for Yerman Burger Flippers able to secure 40 points in that bottom path. Drednaw goes down for Yerman Burger Flippers. However, Rotom being pushed in for Random Gaming, you could definitely argue that that final Rotom is much more important than that final Drednaw.
You know, really amusing incident there. There were multiple Yerman players up top and multiple Random Gaming players in the bottom, and both objectives were stolen by a single member from the opposite team running in with a yoink.
Here we go. We do have a fight at Zapdos. We have Unites going down, and again, this is a complete flip. So much damage being thrown on this Zapdos right now. Who is able to get this secure? It is Random Gaming with the secure, and 4 members of Yerman Burger Flippers go down. This is going to be so almost impossible for Yerman Burger Flippers to come back from.
Not only is this going to be impossible just because of the amount of points going in, but there's just, when you get knocked out, you drop your Aos energy, Spraggles. Even if the entire Yerman team gets up and runs to the other side of the map, they are not going to have enough time to clear enough wild Pokemon to have enough points for it to matter, I don't think.
One interesting thing, though, Yerman has scored so much in this game. I mean, look at this. They still have 500 points. It's not like this game can't be won, but wow, Random Gaming really pulling it out there at that Zapdos fight.
Thing to note on that radar minimap we see in the top left of the screen, when a player has full points, it shows that 50 or number on their character. None of Yerman's players have that maximum amount, and Random Gaming's not done scoring. They've got Crustle, they've got Greedon, they've got Lucario. They are putting the pressure on, stopping Yerman from getting scores in at all.
This is really interesting to see because, yeah, like you were saying, even if they all run, everyone from Yerman Burger Flippers runs to the other side to score, Random Gaming saying, yeah, we're scoring too. We're still putting points in. We want this to be over 1,000 by the time we're done.
Yeah, and you know, I talked about one of the things at that zap could be the extra points that it gives. It gives your entire team 90 points, which in this double overtime turns into 180, which is almost the differential between these teams.
And here we have big points going in this goal. They are able to jump on it using that Wiggly Unite, using everything they can to put points in there. Was it enough? I'm not sure it was, but we will find out in just a few moments. 10 more points going in, 2 more points, and 14 from Random Gaming's Dragonite.
Yeah, just both teams knowing that the best defense is a good offense, trying to get points into the very last wire. Over 1,000 points, Braggles, we did break it.
They did it. Wow, look at those scores. 700 to 1,015, and Random Gaming is right back in these grand finals right here.
Super powerful. Not only does your team heal a bit, but the opposing team with Zapdos takes a bit of damage and a stun, meaning they're more likely to get knocked out like we saw.
And here we are. This could be the last game of our February finals here for EU. We do have North America coming up after this, but right now Yerman Burger Flippers is in a position to crown themselves the champions of the EU February finals. They would be the best team in the EU.
We see in this bottom path, both teammates kind of doing their own thing. We have the Talonflame running across to get the scoring going in the score composition. The Wigglytuff starts by clearing these Audinos, and then both the Greedons kind of contesting each other, looking for last hits.
I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but Yerman Burger Flippers in this top lane, they are now actually worried about Crustle. They're worried about Crustle in this top lane, and I just love to see it.
Well, Crustle so far is only a little baby Dwebble here. Really needs to get at least 1 to 2 more pieces of last hits so that piece of strawberry cake on his back can get a whole lot bigger.
Interestingly enough, we're seeing this fight here in this top path, but you can see the central area Pokemon, that Dragonair went to the bottom path for Yerman Burger Flippers, to the top path for Random Gaming. It looks like they got a double KO in that bottom path there.
All right, and we see that push up top here with the Crustle looking for the center path invade here for Random Gaming.
Wow, and Lucario able to take down the Lucario from Random Gaming. But yes, Crustle has decided that it is a Greedent now. It is in the area, enemy's central area, and it is taking wild Pokemon.
We saw Dragonair being left alone with the Crustle going to invade. Again, these map movements are not free. In order for this Crustle to go into the center, you're giving up map pressure somewhere else, and it really cost Random Gaming's center path Dragonair a knockout there, giving more experience to Yerman's team.
It does look like, unfortunately, that play did not work out for Random Gaming and that Crustle. Although it did distract that Dragonair for quite some time, we saw the same thing happening on the other side of the map with Mean Greedon in Random Gaming's jungle.
Yerman has broken the first outside goal of Random Gaming at that Drednaw before the Drednaw has spawned. In fact, our second Bees haven't even spawned yet. Look at the incredible level differential between these two teams. Multiple level 7s for Yerman and a level 4 Fletchling for Random Gaming still.
Yeah, Random Gaming not in the best position right now. We see Yerman is really in control of this match early, and the question is, what's going to happen here in about 15 seconds when this Drednaw spawns in this bottom path?
Okay, really reasonable engage here, but quickly turned the tides potentially by Wigglytuff having its powerful Unite move to shield its team.
Wow, and up in our top path here, we can see there is a Talonflame still staying there from Yerman Burger Flippers, but once again, there is not a lot of contesting happening here with this Drednaw. It looks like they're going to get this one for free.
Yeah, and honestly, this is very smart by Random Gaming's part. Random Gaming has realized that without a Dragonite of their own, they're going to be unable to successfully contest this Drednaw, and running in there is simply only going to give Yerman the experience from the Drednaw as well as the experience from knocking out Random Gaming.
We could see all these points being scored in this bottom path for Yerman Burger Flippers, and there we have the secure from Random Gaming, Talonflame and Crustle securing that Rotom. It's going to push towards that top goal of Yerman Burger Flippers.
We see Kiva here for Yerman clearing all of these wild Pokemon to the left, knowing that if they don't get these ASAP, Random Gaming is going to be invading what's supposed to be their safe wild Pokemon and trying to secure them for themselves.
And look at what we had there. We almost had the Dragonite from Random Gaming make its way into this fight, but I think once it saw Yerman's Dragonite, it decided, I'm going to leave this one to you guys. You guys handle this Rotom.
Yeah, we see both teams being pretty tactical at that. We have in this match what I would refer to as skirmishes more than full-on battles. The only 5v5 I believe we saw in that second game was the one in the Zap Pit at the end.
Here we go. Some fighting here in this top path. Are they able to take this Dragonite? Dragonite not as concerned with this Lucario as it is with those wild Pokemon. It wants the AO synergy and it wants the levels, Jeff.
Yep, Lucario using its Unite move to not win that encounter, but survive it, and then getting to dunk these 40 points. I think you have to call that a very successful Unite move if you're Yerman's Lucario.
Yeah, absolutely. We have Drednaw spawning here in about 25 seconds. And the question is, who's going to be there? Who is going down there to fight? Because right now, no one is in a position to fight for it. Yerman Burger Flippers scoring in this bottom path right here and breaking goal. And now they're going to peel back and get ready for this Drednaw fight. They might once again get a Drednaw for free.
Yeah, and Yerman already has a pretty sizable lead in both points and levels. We see all double-digit levels for Yerman's team, while Random Gaming still has 2 level 9s on their side of it.
Wow, and no one is at Drednaw right now. They're all fighting near this goal. However, everyone from Random Gaming running back down. Who is able to get this secure? It is Random Gaming securing that with their Greedents.
That's a big secure for Random Gaming side. While it doesn't catch them back up and score, they're good at scoring later, and getting caught back up in levels means that their engages inside of the skirmishes that have been occurring will be a lot more profitable in position.
It looks like we do have a few members of each team making their way towards this top Rotom here. Again, another extremely important objective right now. Whichever way this Rotom is pushing, it just gives that much more pressure for that team, and it is secured by Random Gaming. So Random Gaming really coming back in this match right now after having a pretty rocky start.
Yeah, we see the levels starting to equalize a little bit. There's a single differential between the Lucarios on each teams, but otherwise all level 11s in this team. Again, we crossed the 4-minute mark, and there are no level 13s to be seen in this very engaged light match that we've been watching.
Oh, wow, and look at this. Oh, they stopped that Dragonite from scoring and breaking that goal right there. So unbelievably close, but yeah. Random Gaming not able to break this top goal.
I think that is the most Pokemon we've seen grouped together for this entire game. There were 4 for Yerman and 2 for Random Gaming, and just very easily able to push off in an exchange that gave Yerman's team a very good experience boost.
Yeah, and of course, stopped that huge score. Right now, Random Gaming does not have a path to victory by running straight towards the enemy goal, as we've talked about earlier. They need to break one of these top or bottom goals so that they can do that at the 2-minute mark during that Zapdos fight.
Yeah, we saw that for the last game where Random Gaming secured that objective where the other team had to split, and because they had to split, they were too slow to catch back up.
We are coming into the final moments of this match. Wow, look at this play here from Yerman. They are scoring in their main goal right now, Jeff. They're able to put in 39 and 40.
It is so disrespectful, Spraggles, when the opposing team just walks into your face. You're like, no, these are going in. We're a team, and we're dunking them together. We're buddies.
I feel disrespected. I don't think anyone should feel more disrespected than Drednaw in these games because no one seems to care about Drednaw. It looks like, oh no! Oh, okay, they were able to get that with a basic attack there. The Hyper Beam from Random Gaming almost taking that Drednaw right here. We are here at the 2-minute mark, 15 seconds away. If Yerman Burger Flippers win this, they win this tournament.
Ooh, and Dragonite not going to score with the 50 after it jumps out, choosing to come, knowing they need to engage at this this main objective in the center here as the flip begins.
Here we have a lot of damage, a lot of moves being thrown down. What will secure this? Zapdos. Random Gaming once again gets Zapdos. Dragonite for Yerman Burger Flippers scoring in their main goal. They are still ahead. How many people can they KO? They knocked out 2 Pokemon, Lucario and Greedent. from Random Gaming. How many points can they put on the board? We do see Talon and Creedon from Yerman running towards Random Gaming's main goal.
Random Gaming is up for a very small window here, but there are 200 points coming at the base here, and I'm not sure we're going to be able to keep them out. Okay, we kept 100 out. Oh my gosh, we stopped both caps on Random Gaming's side. This is huge. That could be the entire match here.
Wow, I am shocked that Greedon didn't score. I thought for sure it would. I don't know exactly what happened there because I don't think it got hit by close combat, but I must be incorrect here because that score shield broke and it was not able to put points in that goal.
Random Gaming's Greedon came out and belched, I believe, keeping Nazu off of the score by a very narrow margin here. And again, we see what we've seen frequently in these games where Random Gaming knows they're ahead, but they also know that they were very fortunate to stop the last cap that happened. Look at this. Both teams. Nobody's defending. Score, 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 Spraggles.
No one is home, and we're using Unite moves, but no one's there to defend it at all. They're running across the map. They're saying, I live here, you live there. We are trading places right now. Oh my gosh, Jeff, 925 for Random Gaming, 840 for Yerman, 854. This is so close. They can still get enough points to put in this main goal here. Yeah. What an insane finish.
Look at how long the delay is on all the scores happening. It's just that many scores queued up all at once. And at this point, it's just chaos. I would be very surprised if either team has any idea who's ahead at this point. That was another
Jeff,
small
I can see the score
play.
and I can see the score and I don't know who's ahead. That's how close this game is. Right now, Random Gaming just scored 16 with that Greedon. If they're ahead right here, they have won this series, but not the championship. Let's see.
We're going
985 to 908. Random Gaming wins this series, and we are now resetting it. We have another best of 3.